Welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour, your source for all hard rock, heavy metal, new metal, alternative, punk, horror punk, hardcore, rock, and all local bands, with your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bodfather.
All right. Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Zakk from Black Label Society. We're all doing the hang, and you're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
The views and opinions of the guest do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of BODS Mayhem Radio Network, its staff, affiliates, or sponsors. Parental discretion is advised. Welcome to BODS Mayhem Radio Network.
Hey everybody, welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour. I'm your host, John the Bod, aka the Bodfather. I have one of the most awesomest interviews coming up right now, and you're only going to hear it right here on BODS Mayhem Hour. I have one of the most prolific guitar legends on the show right now. None other than from the Black Label Society, the Berserkers, Zakk Wylde. How you doing, brother?
John, I'll toss you a 20 after that interview, after that introduction. Thank you very much, my brother. I'm doing okay, man.
Congratulations on the new arrival of your son, too.
Oh, I appreciate it, brother. Yeah, it was Sabbath. It's Sabbath Page Wyland Wild. We were going to actually just name it Sabbath Page Wyland Things My Father Likes Wild.
Oh, that's cool. That is really cool. Now, you guys are still touring really hard for the Order of the Black CD, which has been out since 2010, correct?
Actually, August the 12th of this month will be 2 years we've been out rolling on that record.
And I got to say this, like I've told you before, I'm a huge, huge fan of yours. And my brother, Brian Ward, he actually took me to see you guys in 2010 when you guys were at the Louisville, Kentucky Expo 5, when you guys were there with Children of Bodom and Clutch.
Oh, yeah. No, that was a good time, man.
That was one hell of a show. I mean, I was deaf for a week.
I dig it, brother. Yeah, no, the Clutch guys and, Children of Bodom guys are all kick-ass guys and, slamming bands as well.
Let's talk about some of your guys' influences. What really got you into the music, and who was your influences, Zakk?
It'd have to be, that's easy. You can hear it in the music. Dinah Shore and, Liberace. For the flamboyancy and the showmanship, I'd have to go Liberace all the way. But Dinah Shore, just the heaviness on our early records is what really attracted me to the heavy side of things.
Now, you guys are getting ready to do another show out in California, is that right?
Yeah, we're going to be doing the Sunset Music Festival, and it's a celebration of the Doors and everything like that. So we might be cranking out some Doors tunes while we're up there rocking out, doing Black Label mass services. So we're looking forward to that too, because it's going to be the day that we're playing. You got it's going to be us, then Bad Religion, Offspring, and then obviously Marilyn Manson is going to be on after that, throwing down. So I'm looking forward to it, man. It's always a good time.
And then after this, you guys kick off a Canadian tour, then coming back to the States for a little bit too?
Yeah, we're going to be, what we're going to be doing on August 30th, we're recording a DVD at the Mayan Theater and a CD, so Unblackened. So that's what we're going to have a string quartet, pianos, background vocals, the whole nine yards. So, just like an unplugged, but it'll be the unblackened thing. So we'll still have like electric elements to it, the electric guitar solos and some of the heavy stuff, but going through, everything, Pride and Glory, Book of Shadows, through the whole catalog of Black Label stuff. So, we're going to knock that out on the 30th, and then after that, I guess September, we'll probably end up mixing the thing, and then October, we're going to roll with our, Canadian family up there, Black Label family, and then that'll be October, then November, we roll with the South American chapter of Black Label, and then obviously Christmas time, we roll with the North Pole chapter, and that would definitely be the Santa Claus chapter.
Ho, ho, ho.
Yes, exactly.
I know that you dig music, and I know that you like all kinds of music. Now, the last CD that I got of you guys, it was an acoustic one. The song does not remain the same, I think I got.
Yeah, exactly. The song remains not the same.
Yeah. Are you thinking about ever coming out with just an acoustic set of Black Label songs or anything like that? Just a whole...
Yeah, well, as much as we love doing the heavy stuff, I love, when we're chilling out, even back when I first started with the Boss, with Oz, I mean, we got a 16-hour drive after a gig, sitting up front, just drinking beers and listening to Bob Seger and Skinner and Normans and Elton John, Neil Young. I mean, just, all the good mellow stuff. I mean, whether it's Bad Company or anything, just, just classic, good mellow stuff. So the Eagles and everything like that. So, yeah, I mean, I love, after we get done jamming and stuff like that, I love sitting at the piano, too, and jamming or picking up an acoustic or whatever. And, usually we're always making the records anyways. Started doing the heavy stuff, and we're just doing, the Wall of Marshalls and the Wall of Doom and just, cranking the drum sound like cannons. I mean, it's just you're more, more in tune with writing heavy riffs and stuff like that. So it's just after you start getting burnt out on that, then, you pick up an acoustic or you sit behind the piano, and then it's let's do a couple mellow things here and there. And then once you get burnt out on that, you get back to the heavy stuff again. So for me, I enjoy, it's just it just mixes things up and it takes a break from doing one thing.
My favorite acoustic one by you guys, and this is hands down one of the most badass versions I've ever heard, Stillborn. That is the most awesomest acoustic version I've heard by you guys.
I dig it, man. Thanks a lot, brother. That's what I'm saying. I mean, because I actually like with the song remains not the same. That's what we ended up doing. We had Stillborn's it's more of a hard rock song, but I mean the original version. But then when I'd sit down with the acoustic or I'd sit behind the piano and just because obviously the lyrics are already still use them as working lyrics. It's just I'll start singing the song and do an acoustic version and a mellow version of the tune. So which I definitely dig doing. So I mean that's pretty much how the song remains not the same came about, because that's all perfectly titled aside of us being Zeppelin freakos. But no, the song remains not the same because it's still the same song, but it's not the same.
Please tell me you guys are going to come out with a new album, because Order of the Black is awesome, but we need some more, Zakk.
Well, we're going to be doing, like I said, on the 30th, we're doing Unblackened, the DVD, and a CD to go along with it. So that'll be on the 30th. So I'm sure sometime, and it'll be out probably 2013 sometime. And then obviously, we'll be out for a bit longer or whatever, and then obviously crank out a new studio album with all the heavy stuff.
Cool. Yeah, and when you guys come back on tour, come back to Kentucky, because I would love to see you guys again.
No, without a doubt, we'll be rolling back out there, man.
Congratulations on being on that metal show again, because I just seen it. They released it for the 11th season, and you're going to be on there. Is that right?
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm going to be seeing Eddie and the boys on Sunday, actually. Yeah, cruising down there, man.
I've got Don Jameson coming on the 12th of this month, so...
Oh, very cool, man.
It should be interesting, because I watched the episode with you on there, I guess, back a couple years ago, and you was really giving it to Eddie. That was really cool.
No, without a doubt. It's always a good time seeing the guys, man. We're always laughing our balls off, so it's cool.
When you guys do an album, does everybody contribute, Zakk, or is it just you, or does everybody contribute with it?
Well, no, usually, I'm just coming in with riffs and ideas. I'll just write something like I could sit here and write something this morning, whether I, having a couple of hour job, and I'll just jam on something on the piano, and then go, guys, say, let's record this right now. So, I mean, it's pretty much that easy. I mean, or you sit down with the electric thing, and it just, me and you could be going up to go hit, Jersey Mike's to go get some subs for lunch, and we hear some Zeppelin on the radio, and they're on Line of Love or something like that, and go, man, it'd be cool if we did like a riff, just, a simple riff and stuff like that, like a Zeppelin vibe or whatever. And it's just get back in the Vatican, and then I just start jamming a riff, and I go, here, we got a new song. So, I mean, that's pretty much how it goes, you know what I mean? We don't spend, we're not going to sit and spend 8 years writing a record. I just don't understand that, you know what I mean? So,
yeah.
No, you just go in, knock it out, and it depends on what side of the bed you woke up on that day. You feel like doing the heavy stuff, I guess we're doing heavy stuff that day, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, once everybody gets going, I'll make suggestions, but the whole thing is you let everybody excel at what they're good at, you know what I mean? I'm not going to tell JD what to play on the bass, and I'm not going to tell Chad what to play on the drums. You just go ahead and play whatever the guys you're thinking, or, if I have an idea, it's just like, no, why don't we just keep it simple, or why don't you try this, or why don't you try, we'll just throw ideas around like that. But that's pretty much how the album's always done. It's real simple. There's no, they're rock records, you know what I'm saying? It's not brain surgery here, man.
Right, exactly. Now, growing up, did you ever imagine any of this happening, man? I mean, the success and everything with Black Label and Ozzy, just the dream of it?
Well, no, at 14 years old, I knew that's what I was going to do with my life. It just, after I saw my guitar teacher, Leroy Wright, I was just like, that's what I want to do with my life. I'm going to, I knew right then and there I was going to dedicate my life to playing music. But, whether, you know, obviously if I wasn't blessed with the good fortune of running into the boss, you know, with Ozzy, and then having, having Black Label, me and JD talk about it. We'd probably own a music store, teach, play weddings, and then have our original band, and then do, and then have our cover band where we do, all the cool music that we dig, and then whether it's Sabbath and stuff like that. But I'd have a guitar in my hand. We'd still be playing. Me and JD be playing music. You know what I mean? It's just I wouldn't be having some crummy day job that I can't stand. I mean, that's no way to go around living life, man.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, find what you love and drive it into the ground, man.
Exactly. And never let anybody tell you no, because they're the ones that's going to hold you back. Never, ever let somebody tell you no.
Exactly. And everybody, as far as music goes, I mean, like that, everyone starts at the same spot. And people were telling the Beatles they couldn't make it, or the Rolling Stones, or Sabbath, or Zeppelin. So, there you go.
Let's talk about on tour. How do you stay grounded, man? Having a family and being on tour. Is it kind of, when you're on tour, do you like, man, I wish I was with my family, or thank God I'm away?
No, I mean, part of, the reason why you have those posters of, Jimmy Page up on the wall and Randy Rhoads and, Sabbath and, Zeppelin and all, Jimi Hendrix, all the guys you love, that's part of the job. I mean, I love touring. I love going into different hotel rooms, hanging out, and just, traveling. And, when I'm out on the road, we're seeing our extended Black Label family anyways, you know what I mean, between when we're doing the meet and greets and everything like that. So, I mean, it's just like, we don't have fans, we have fams. So, I mean, it's one gigantic Black Label family. But, I mean, but the whole thing is, whether I was a truck driver, that'd be like saying I'm a truck driver and going, I can't stand being on the road. It's just, you're a truck driver, man. It's what you do. So, no, I mean, I'm blessed that I get a chance to make, do what I love and actually be able to put food on the table and put a roof over my family's head. So, I mean, I thank the good Lord every day for everything I got. So, I mean, the whole thing is, no, that never bothered me. I know there's a lot of other guys that are just like, dude, I can't stand the road, or I can't stand, I mean, I love making the records and I love playing live. So, I mean, I love them both. I don't love one or the other. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, because I think they're both amazing. I mean, to me, live's a free-for-all, and, whereas in the studio, it's just like you have a blank canvas, and it's controlled. You can actually, you can sit back and look at it and go, let's add a little bit of this, or let's add a little bit of that. Like, look at the sky. Let's make it a little bit darker, a darker blue instead of a lighter blue. So, I mean, that's the beauty about being in the studio. But live, it's just the energy and playing live. I mean, it's just you're a musician. That's what you do. So, no, I love them both. But nothing for nothing. You want your family. Your family comes out on the road. Not only that, I mean, our oldest ones are, they're in college now. So, I mean, they have their own life. And I mean, even back in the day when the kids were teenagers, we'd bring them out on the road, whether they were out on the Ozfest or something like that. They'd come out for a couple of days, and they're like that, Mom, nothing for nothing. We have our own friends, and we want to go home, and hang out with our own friends, because we have a life outside of you, So, I mean, it's, no matter what it is, you make it work. Yeah. I don't care when I had day jobs and stuff like that. It's like, I can't afford a Les Paul. Dude, I didn't care how many lawns I had to mow, and me working at the gas station, me doing construction during the summers, whatever it took for me to buy a Les Paul, I did it. I never was like, I'll never have one of them. I was like, no, I'm buying one, man. So it was just like every time I mowed a lawn, I was $10 closer to a Les Paul.
Yeah, and you don't know exactly how many checks from week to week I've had to save up to get my custom Bullseye guitar.
Yeah, so so everybody that says, I'll never get this or I'll never, that ain't the Black Label way of thinking, man.
That's exactly right. SDMF right there.
Without a doubt. I mean, Black Label obstacles are made to be conquered. So I mean, that's the only reason. That's why they're there. We live and breathe for them. So so I mean, as far as like me traveling and being out on the road, I love what I do. So I wouldn't change it for nothing. But I mean, and having a family, you make it work. I mean, that's what you do. If I had a normal, if I had a day, a normal job where I was leaving the house at 5 o'clock in the morning, coming back at 6 at night, I'm still gone most of the day anyways. I come home and see the kids and everything. That's what my father did. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, my dad was working after the war. He worked at General Motors for like 27 years. So I remember Dad getting up at 4:30 in the morning, coming home at about 7 o'clock at night, watching some of the Yankee game, and then going to bed and getting ready to go to work the next day. He always made my little league games, and he always made all the important things. So, so you don't complain. You just thank and you make it happen.
Exactly right. Thank God that you guys had Pride and Glory, because that's what really got me hooked on your music.
I dig it, brother. No, we had a blast making that record as well.
My friend actually had the Pride and Glory, and he's like, look, man, you got to listen to this song. And I listened to Losing Your Mind, and I was like, oh, my God, a freaking banjo in this? This is awesome.
Yeah, I think that's why we saved that for P&G. I don't think the boss wanted to use that on the record.
But
I was just like, Zakk, you can save that for some other day or something else you want to use in the future.
But, I mean, it was just so different. And I think at that time when it come out, everybody was like, no, it's all metal, which, yeah, metal is awesome, and I love metal. But it was a time when things were changing to grunge, to punk and stuff like that. But when Pride and Glory come out with that song, it blew me away, dude.
No, I dig it, brother. Like I said, we had a great time making that thing, man.
Now, are there any bands right now that you're listening to that are up and coming that you would suggest to checking out?
Yeah, I think there's two of them right off the top of my head. Led Zeppelin and Black Sabbath. I think they're going to be huge.
I will have to check that out.
Yeah, exactly, man.
What can people expect at a Black Label Society show? Which I've been there, but I want to ask you, brother.
I guess at a Black Label Society show, like a lot of dancing, a lot of nudity, a lot of, men in lingerie, that kind of thing. With shaved legs. It's good family entertainment. Synchronized swimming.
Yeah.
The ballet, breaking out instead of a mosh pit.
Oh man, this is good. Do you guys stay after the shows for the fans or the meet and greets? How do you guys work that into shows? Before the shows or after the shows?
No. We always do, Black Label family meet and greets before the gigs. Whether it's doing a sound check or something like that. Everybody comes down, we hang out, everybody has a good time, man.
Any advice that you would give to any new bands that are coming up right now?
Yeah, today, obviously with the internet and everything like that, just advertise your band as much as you can and get out there and play. If anything, you have more chance of making it nowadays than you ever did. Because, back in the day, if you didn't get signed by the time you're 30 years old, I guess the dream's over. So, nowadays, that's not the case. You can be independently, you can independently run your band, which is great.
And do you guys get a lot of sales on, digital downloads and things like that, other than actually people buying the hard copy, or do you get to see that? Or
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Put it this way, as long as people are buying your records, as long as I'm going to go buy my Led Zeppelin record off of iTunes or something like that, the people that worked on that record, whether it's the engineers and everything, the people that helped record that record, everybody's getting paid. You're not stealing. So, that's... iTunes is great. Just downloaded Van Halen 2 earlier this morning, so there you go. Yeah, my whole thing is just as long as everybody's still buying bands' records, whether it's a new bands or whatever, as long as you're buying their records, then you're supporting them, so this way they can continue to tour and they can continue to make music, so that's the whole thing.
I know people who just got into Judas Priest and said, man, I bought this album and it's really cool. And it's like, well, what is it? It's Judas Priest. Well, yeah, Judas Priest has been around for a long time. They're awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
I interviewed Ryan McAdams the other day from Soil, and man, he gave nothing but respect to you, and he's a huge fan of yours, and I'm sure you know Ryan.
Yeah, no, the Soil guys are awesome, man. Ryan's killer.
He's like, you got to interview Zakk. I said, well, I'm trying to get Zakk, so I got him. He was talking about pranks and stuff, and that's what I was going to ask you. What's the best prank that you guys ever did or ever got done to you on a tour?
No, but as far as I'm concerned, I love doing, whether it's just, we're playing the smaller places and it's packed and you got all that energy in there, whether it's, 500 people or something like that. And then, we just did Donington and, over at Download Press and there was about 120,000 people there. So, that's amazing as well. So, I think if you ask any musician, they're always going to say, doing the big places is great, but the energy that you get in the smaller places is killer too,
What would you say the best place that you guys played this year, as far as a festival wise?
Obviously, the Download one was a good time, because the crowd was, ridiculous, 120,000 people. It was Anthrax, then us, then Soundgarden, then obviously Sabbath came out there, so it was killer.
How's Soundgarden sounding these days? Because I know they got back together, and I caught them live streaming on the internet, and they sounded really good. I'd like to check them out.
Yeah, well, then you seen it. I mean, they're slamming, dude. Without a doubt. I mean, Chris is the heavyweight champ of vocals over there, so I mean, no, they're amazing, dude.
Zakk, I'll let you be, man. I know you got a lot of things going on. I want to thank you for being on the show this evening. Congratulations, like I said, to the newborn, and gosh, man, you don't know how big an influence you are on me.
You got it, brother. Well, listen, Father John, you take care of yourself and stay strong, keep bleeding black, and I'll talk to you in a bit, man. Tell the rest of the Kentucky chapter out there we said hey, man.
You got it, brother. And before I let you go, would you do me a promo for the show?
Yeah, what is it, man? All right. Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Zakk Wylde from Black Label Society. We're all doing the hang, and you're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Thank you so much, brother. I eventually hope to get to meet you one day because, like I said, you've been a big influence on me, and you've actually wanted to make me pick up a guitar and wail on it like you do.
You got it, brother. Well, enjoy the fiddles, man.
Thank you, Zakk. You only hear these interviews here live on BODS Mayhem Hour. Thanks again, Zakk. Have a great day, brother.
All right, man. Right, I got you, John. I'll talk to you a bit, buddy.
All right, later.
Bye, brother.
You're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.